back.
Yay!
Marcus is actually here.
Yeah.
You're here, gone every 2 weeks.
Pretty much.
He turns into a werewolf. He's on a bi-lunar schedule.
Bi-lunar.
Werewolves. Marcus.
Werewolves.
It's episode 9.
Werewolves.
Can you believe it?
Wow. Already episode 9. Fantastic.
Wait. 8.
Episode 8! This is a dog ball episode.
This is the one where I forget the episode number. Oh, wait, that's every episode.
Every episode.
Except for the 4th one, because I talked about the Fantastic Four on it.
Yeah. There's no other brilliant connections
So
to the others.
we're almost to 10. What are we going to do for 10? Something special, maybe?
Give away ice cream.
To each other?
To each other. Maybe the rabbit.
Yep.
Carrot-flavored ice cream.
Rabbit-flavored ice cream.
Yum, 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 yum.
All right, Marcus, what'd you do this week? What'd you watch? What'd you read?
Well, I finally finished Akira, the graphic novel. Well, we finished the movie the other day, and it was cool. But then I read Akira. I finished it out, like the actual graphic novel itself. It's way cooler. I mean, there's a lot more character development and everything, and like the movie is cool. I don't want to discredit the movie.
The first 2 books.
Yeah, I feel like they did a huge disservice by making just one movie because they cut out like a majority of the really, really important stuff at the end.
There's a big difference at the end of the movie.
Yeah, big time. And I felt like it ended cooler. But
it's still really weird.
Yeah.
It's just like, what is happening?
It does. I think the books do a lot better job explaining what the heck happened at the end. Yeah. You know, at the end of the movie, I was kind of sitting there like, I think I know what happened, but I'm really confused at the same time.
Isn't it like, I don't remember.
Pretty much at the end of the movie, like Tetsuo ends up turning into like the Blob because he can't control his power anymore, which happens in the books too. But like Kaneda ends up killing him with a laser, and then makes him more or less self-destruct completely, and then Akira and the other 2 kids kind of zap the power into a different dimension type thing. But it's all a little confusing. And
I thought it was like
a lot better.
He like got. Isn't there like a metaphor of like bacteria or something? And it's like a bacteria got the power of like a god or something. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's looked at like within everybody we have the power of Akira, but not everybody has that immense power like Akira does, and not everybody can end up using it. And then Tetsuo and Akira are the ones that are like the ultimates. And Akira only shows up for like a couple minutes in the movie, whereas he has like
he's
3
dead
books
in the
worth.
movie. They dissected him, and he's in jars.
Yeah,
and then he like puts himself back together or something. Yeah, for a hot second.
I mean, the power within them is basically like they're comparing it to like the power of the Big Bang, where they're almost like the power of gods, where they can create and stuff. And when they die, they're technically not dead. So, yeah. What about you, Tuck Tuck?
Well, I watched a couple movies. I watched a movie called Turbo Kid, which is like a post-apocalyptic movie where this kid is like reading about this guy named the Turbo Rider, and you think that Turbo Rider is like a comic book character that he likes, and it slowly reveals that like he was real and he failed, and now we're in an apocalypse.
Huh.
And he like finds Turbo Rider's suit, and he has like a Mega Man style like power Nintendo Power Glove basically that shoots lasers, and it's very bloody.
Is it like animated or is it?
Oh, it's live action. It's like a independent movie.
Is it fairly recent?
They made it in Sweden or something, but it's really cool.
Is it a fairly recent movie?
Yeah, it's like the past year it came out. Then I watched The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened, which is a documentary about the Tim Burton Superman movie that they were going to make. Kevin Smith wrote the first draft. Nicolas Cage was going to be Superman.
What?
Chris Rock was going to be Jimmy Olsen. I don't remember who was going to be Lois Lane. Sandra Bullock, I think, had the is the main person, but guess who's going to be Brainiac? And this is what I was excited about.
Who?
Christopher Walken.
Oh my gosh.
Christopher Walken was going to be Brainiac. And now I would have paid to see that.
Yeah, that would have been the biggest train wreck I've ever seen, and I would have watched it.
It was just ridiculous, all the stuff that they were going to put in. It was like, they keep saying he wasn't going to fly in it. And there's test footage of them testing flying stuff. And it's like, well, was he or wasn't he?
This is why Kevin Smith should not write comic book movies.
Oh, no, it's not Kevin Smith's fault.
Is it Tim Burton's fault?
It's the producer's fault, because he's giving him all these lists of things that he wants in it.
Uh-huh.
And his original script was like basically based on the Death and Returns. And then Tim Burton came in and it's like, I don't like this script. And someone rewrote it, and then eventually they have someone else rewrote it. And it's ridiculous. I still would want to see it. I still want to see it to this day, after just to say that Nicolas Cage was in a Superman movie.
I'm a cat. I'm a Superman cat.
It's just like, they talked about how, something that I thought was interesting was they talked about how weird Clark Kent was going to be. Like, he's because he's an alien, so he acts different. So he's like laughing at jokes he's hearing like a few blocks away and like stuff like that. I thought that was an interesting bit. Like, Clark Kent is weird. He's the type of guy you say he couldn't be Superman because he's so weird. I thought that would be interesting to see Nicolas Cage being a weirdo. But he is every day, so.
Yeah.
Is Nicolas Cage Superman? I hope not.
He's gonna be in the new Superman movie. They've actually traded
Bruce,
out that guy.
no! The numbers! The numbers! Alrighty. There's a few bits of news. Not very much. Did you see that? There's that. Who was it? The Joker Halloween ornament?
No.
I sent you the prompts. Didn't you look at them? What's your gosh darn problem?
When did you send them to me?
Last night.
I never got any.
They're on Facebook. You're trash, Marcus.
Well, I apparently didn't get these, so.
Well, there's like this, sort of like, how zombie things, ornaments that are on people's lawns for Halloween, they made a Joker one. And it's based off of the Death of the Family, where Joker like pinned his face back on because it got ripped off. It got cut off.
His own face.
But yeah, he got his face cut off by a villain, and he like basically just put it back on with staples, and he stretched it out.
Jeez.
So it's like that Joker, and it's like he's crawling out of the ground.
Nice. No, I did not see that. I would love to have that.
Yeah.
I'd get it just to scare children.
Yep.
Hey, kids, you want to see the Joker?
Yep. It's neato.
When is it available for purchase?
It might be available now, but it's like not $80 or something. You don't even have a yard.
I have windows. I'll go sell some plasma and I'll go buy it. So everybody, this is a plug for that Joker thing. Go buy it.
Yeah, go buy it. Coming. We're getting paid in them, so everyone you buy, we get one.
We get double.
We get two. One for each of us.
And then we can sell them again.
Yeah.
And we'll say they were signed by Heath Ledger.
By the actual Joker. Not Heath Ledger, the actual guy.
Yeah. David Duchovny.
Ronda Rousey is planning to star in a remake of Roadhouse.
Yeah, I saw that and it kind of gave me stomach pains, but... The old Roadhouse is fantastic, right. Only because it's hilarious.
He doesn't rip a guy's throat out.
Yeah, rips a guy's throat out, and you get to see Patrick Swayze's butt a couple times.
How good of an actress she is, though.
Yeah, I don't know about that either. I think she's a pretty cool lady, but again, I don't know if she's a good actress or not.
She was in a Fast and the Furious movie. She was in the Entourage movie, I think. I don't know how good her acting is. I'm not going to question it because I don't want to get beat up.
Right. She'll come to your house. Listen here. Blah, blah, blah. She talks like an old woman, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, dang
Marcus,
it, Sonny.
Rhonda, that's what Marcus is saying.
That's what Tucker said it. He wrote a prompt for me, and it said he'd give me $100 if I said it, so it's his fault.
I didn't say that.
Oh, dadgummit, I'll find you in the ring, and I'll kill you. Believe me.
Thinking about hitting me would knock me out.
I know. I'm terrified of her. I make fun of her because she's not close to me.
Right. If she was right next to you.
Yeah, she'd beat the tar out of me. But
he'd mugging you. You'd pee your pants and die. Yeah. That sounds interesting to me.
It'd be worth.
I'd probably watch it on video. I'd legally download it.
Yeah.
FBI, if you're listening, they'll never catch me. Wonder Woman. I think we talked about this a little bit. It's going to take place in there's going to be scenes that take place during World War I. I've heard multiple rumors of the movie, Wonder Woman movie. They start filming in November, I think, and it's first thing I heard is going to take place during World War I and World War II, and then modern day. And then I'm hearing that part of the movie will take place, like maybe a flashback will take place during World War I. And what's your thoughts on it?
So they kind of doing like, even though the movie was terrible and doesn't exist, a Wolverine Origins type thing? Like maybe just flashback to show that she's been around that long type deal?
I don't know. Is Wonder Woman that old?
See, I don't know. I don't know how old she's supposed to be. I know she's like Amazonian, and I guess she lives for a long time.
Because in Kingdom Come, it's like implied that she looks exactly the same. Like she doesn't age.
Yeah, I thought
you were exactly the same, and everyone else was like old and stuff.
Yeah, even Clark was old.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, maybe since she's like a queen or whatever,
it's like half god is how she is now, and then before that she was like made of clay basically. She was molded out of clay, and then Zeus gave her life or something like that.
Yeah, well that makes sense then. She'd be special and old, and all that jazz. So yeah. I feel like a Wonder Woman movie could be done really well. She's a fairly cool character, and as long as they go to actually make a good movie instead of just show off her boobs, I think it'd be really good.
Hey, slow down. Speak for yourself, all right?
I'm just talking in the factions of an actual good movie.
Speak for yourself, okay? Settle down.
Lasso of truth. Must be my birthday.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll also see how they use her in the Batman vs Superman.
Batman vs Superman. I heard that they're trying to go in and they had a viewing of it a while ago with all the executives, and they just loved it so much, but they want to like add more Batman into it. So it's like Superman doesn't get a sequel, and now they're cutting out Superman from Batman vs Superman to put more Batman in. Because they were going to do Man of Steel 2, and now they don't want to do it anymore for some reason. Because most people didn't like Man of Steel.
Yeah, I thought it was all right.
Get out.
Hey, it was much better than the what's his face one with Kevin Spacey.
Returns.
Yeah.
Superman Returns. Where was he?
Yeah,
That's the theme song.
That whole movie, I don't know.
It's boring. Superman Returns is boring.
Yeah,
there's no action. And then Man of Steel, they put too much action in it, and they killed everyone.
Yeah, which I think it's cool because you said they were like picking up after that happened, right? Mm-hmm. Sort of. So I feel like that'll be cool at least. At least they'll bring closure to the whole him destroying everything. Yeah. So
I had an idea for Man of Steel 2, which is a good segue. You remember in Man of Steel that little skull that's on Krypton? That's like the Codex, and then he like crunches it up and puts it on his son or whatever.
Yeah.
Like downloads it. So I had this idea for Man of Steel 2, where it's like, what was that thing? It's like it's Clark is like going through that ship that he found, and he's like, it's like he like downloads something, and it like makes the skull part of him starts like acting weird, and he's like having like he's like blacking out and stuff, and he's like, what's happening? And it's like there's like the codex is affecting your whatever, you need to get it out of your body. So he like downloads it into that ship. And you remember like there's like a birthing chamber in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So he like downloads it, and then it like makes a guy, and the guy is Brainiac, and like the codex was Brainiac on Krypton. So it's like Brainiac was controlling the birthing cycle, so he like becomes a person again, because he was just a skull before.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why did they turn him into a skull? It's like, maybe he's crazy.
Yeah.
So true. He's like, he comes back to life, and he's like, I'm evil. I don't know what his plan would be, but
yeah,
probably something to do with babies, because that's what he's about.
Yeah, that's a way cooler idea than what I would have come up with. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to say either that or it turns into Bizarro.
Yeah, that could have been too, because they have that birthing chamber. So I was like, maybe Lex Luthor finds it, and he's like, oh, yeah, all this Kryptonian stuff, maybe I'll make a guy.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, listen to that,
he makes
DC.
Superboy. It's like he puts his DNA in there, and then Superman's, and then they make Superboy.
True. I was going to say Power Girl, but she comes from a different dimension, so. Yep. Interesting.
Yep. I just thought it'd be fun if we did Avengers Infinity War predictions.
Goop.
It's like, who will wear the gauntlet? What will happen in part 1 and part 2? Because I had this idea. But I want to hear from you first. What's going to happen in part 1? And then what's going to happen in part 2?
Is it supposed to be after Civil War?
Yeah.
Is that right?
This is after a few movies. It's like at the end of this phase. Okay. They're doing part 1 and part 2.
Okay. And are they doing... Are all the movies after Civil War, like, are they going to be incorporated into a Civil War feel, or are they all, like, completely... Like, is Civil War its own movie, and then Civil War is over, and then they do movies after it? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So Civil War, and then Doctor Strange is the third Thor movie, Black Panther, Captain Marvel. I'm not sure when Inhumans happens. That might be in between the two.
I'm really curious if they're actually going to assassinate Captain America, too.
I don't know.
That'll be interesting.
Chris Evans went on record saying he'll play Captain America as long as they want him to.
Yeah. He's a good Captain America. I really, really had my doubts in the beginning, because he's kind of terrible in Fantastic Four, but he's great. I mean,
I think him and Vin Graham were the best parts of that movie.
Yeah.
He was really good at Johnny, but
the movie was so
Sue
bad.
And Reed were the worst parts.
Yeah. I just automatically associate him with it and forget that he actually did anything decent in the movie because it was so bad.
Right.
But, I don't know. I feel like the first one could be like, depending on where Civil War ended, like, sort of like the aftermath, and everybody's still upset with each other and stuff, and you still got both sides. And then Thanos shows up with the gauntlet and wants to take over the world, and they're like, well, you know what, screw this act, we gotta save the world. And they all join together to fight Thanos and do all that. And that's, like, the movie ends with maybe the battle beginning, more or less. Or gives a little bit of the backstory of Thanos, like why he wanted the gauntlet, who he is and everything, and then it's like, look, I'm here, I'm going to destroy the Earth. Yeah. And then everybody goes and fights. And the second one could be like the continuation of that, and whether or not the world survives. But then at the end, it like cuts to this strange animation like Toy Story, and then you see Woody's eyes open up, and he sits up in bed, and he's like, boy, that was a weird dream. And that would be the end of it. So then all of the Marvel movies and everything like that were just
in the imagination of a toy.
Yep.
No one will ever see them.
That'd be awesome. And then Captain America goes in and rips Woody in half.
It's zombie Captain America. It's Marvel Zombies takes place in Pixar universe.
I like this idea. Marvel, run with this.
Marvel, hire him. So I had an idea. They're probably going to do the Soul Gem in the next Guardians of the Galaxy with Adam Warlock.
Mm-hmm.
But then they still have to do the Time Gem. So, I think they should do the Time Gem on the Agent Carter TV show. And then, so maybe at the end of one of the movies, Captain America like finds the Time Gem and he's like, oh, what's this? And he's like, bloop, he disappears. Where'd he go? He time traveled back to the Agent Carter times, and guess what? They're gonna bang. So they bang. Then after they bang, he disappears again. He's like, where'd he go? He went back. She's like, oh no, I'm sad, but I'm pregnant now. And guess who the baby is? The baby grows up, and he becomes
Hawkman,
the new Red Skull.
Oh.
And he's mad at his dad because he wasn't around.
Aha. Not bad.
And you know what he does? He forms the Masters of Evil. That's what part 1 is. He's all, I don't like you, Dad. I don't know who's still alive, so it would be Claw from Avengers. Mm-hmm. He's got his claw now. The Claw, Red Skull. Maybe Thanos could be on the team. He's like, hi, I'm from outer space. I'm just going to hang out for a while.
We'll see what you guys got planned.
Just until I get close enough to the Vision where I can yank out his mind gem. Who did I say?
Said the Claw.
Claw, Red Skull. Thanos. Abomination's still alive. Who else is still alive? Most of them get murdered. Loki. Which is pretty pissed for Masters of Evil, but
you got to start somewhere.
Right. This is just that. So it's like that would be them versus, and they're fighting, trying to take over the Earth, while in the background Thanos is like, and he's trying to manipulate them to get to steal the Vision's mind gem because he has all the others.
Mm-hmm. So I can't remember who it was that Andy Serkis was playing. Who was his character in? I think it was it Avengers 2, maybe? Dude, they went and...
Yeah, he was playing Claw.
That's Claw? Okay. Gotcha.
He got his arm cut off by Ultron, and then he's going to get his vibranium blaster.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Somehow I've forgotten that. I have the memory of a steel clam.
Yeah. And then at the end of the first one, the Hulk would come back and he'd help him beat him.
Bruh.
Yeah, I still think Avengers 1 should begin, or Part 1 should begin with the Vision and Scarlet Witch getting married.
Mm.
And then it would be a lot of good motivation for her character because he'll get his brain ripped out by Thanos.
That's true. Man, I feel like there could, with like the Red Skull and all that, I feel like there could be a good leading into like an Old Man Logan story put into movie.
That's what the third Wolverine's going to be, Old Man Logan.
Is it?
A watered-down version of it.
Yeah. So that would suck. It needs to be like a rated R, done correctly movie. Like pretty much like Watchmen style, where they did it like the book said. Mm-hmm. Because that would make a great movie.
Mm-hmm. That's a great comic.
Yeah.
You read all the stuff I let you borrow?
Not yet.
You just read Akira.
Just Akira. Yeah, I'm always a little afraid to take comic books to work because I don't want them to get like destroyed while I'm there somehow.
Right.
So I don't usually take the comics, but some.
Speaking of comics, I'm selling a lot of my graphic novels.
Graphic novels.
I posted a picture on Facebook and it's a lot.
How many do you have, sir?
How many?
Yes.
A lot. Like, a lot. So, if you want to buy some, email me or message me on Facebook or and come by my house and you can look at them.
Tucker's got good stuff. You'll like it.
Yep. And I can recommend you anything that's there. Just tell me what you're looking for. Most people are like X-Men. Really I have some X-Men stuff, but it's not all X-Men.
He's got other good stuff too. It's not just X-Men.
I'm not selling my good stuff. I'm getting rid of some stuff that I'll never read again.
He keeps that.
Or I wouldn't want someone to borrow for them to read because it's all good. Why am I telling them this? It's all shit, good. And I don't want it. Come buy it.
I don't want it in my house anymore.
But yeah,
Tucker's downsizing.
Fun. You'll probably love it because you're an idiot. No. I mean, I'm terrible at this. I'm glad I don't work in sales. So, yeah.
You're an idiot. You should buy this. You're right.
You're right.
Tucker, your sales are through the roof.
Through the roof. You're the manager now. Shut up, stupid.
Would you like to own the store? This is how it works, kids. Remember, this is how business works.
This is how the real world works. So, yeah. Message me. You can come by my house and look at them. Because I don't want to make a list of all the stuff because there's so much. But if I have to. Because I'm trying to avoid having to sell it online because it's just tedious.
Tedious.
TTS. All right. Let's get to the fun part. So, earlier this week I watched a show called Movie Fight with Max Landis was on it. I've talked about Max Landis a lot because he's cool. He was talking, they did a movie fight is where they have a topic and they have to pitch a movie or something based on the topic, and they did ultimate crossover, and I thought that would be fun. So,
not from the Ultimates universe, but
no, it's any universe, any franchise, any movie, anything ever, and you can cross it over with something. So just pick two, cross them over. And you can explain the story a little bit and how they interact and stuff. It'd be fun. Mm-hmm. So, Marcus, I'll let you go first because I have about 5 or 6 of them.
Well, so it would probably only be interesting to me, but if you crossed over Fear Agent and Hack Slash, I feel like that could be a lot of fun. Not only
So explain a little bit about those because I'm not sure. I know what they are. I have a good idea, but I don't know if everyone else. Those are kind of obscure.
Yeah, Fear Agent is a really, really good read. Kind of it's got some not quite time travel-y stuff, but interesting stuff like that. It's centered around this guy named Heath Houston, and this one day these aliens come and try and attack and everything. And the Fear Agents are the guys that are supposed to go and stop the aliens and everything. And they feel like they've kind of pushed the aliens out and everything like that, and they're not coming back to attack. But then Heath Houston, even though everybody tells him not to, we're done, it's over, he sends this huge bomb back to the hive of where they're at, blows it up, and just really, really pisses them off. And so then they come back and wipe out all of the Earth and everything. So it's just kind of centered around him and his family gets killed in it and everything, and he's always drunk and depressed because of it, and so he's trying to go get revenge and redemption through all of it. And it's really cool. It's much cooler than I made it sound. But And then Hack Slash is this girl named, I think his name is Cassie Hack, and she goes around and she kills hacker
serial killers.
Yeah, serial killers
and stuff.
Yeah, but they actually incorporate Chucky shows up in one of them, and Jason and everything, and it's they do a really the storylines are usually cool with it, and they do a good job of incorporating those people into it. Mm-hmm. So it kind of centers around that, but they could do if you had combined those two, the aliens initially come and attack, and then you could have you could end up with the crossover of maybe all the serial killers get pissed because they want to kill everybody, and the aliens are trying to kill everybody, and then they kind of fight it out. But then
serial killers versus aliens.
Aliens, yeah. But then they all realize, well, you know what? For the greater good of us, let's go and kill everybody. together, and then once they're all gone, then we can decide who's the best, and we can fight it out and kill each other. So throughout the process, you've got, Heath Houston and Cassie Hack trying to go and like stop them and everything.
And then they kiss at the end. OTP.
Overtime power.
No!
Yeah, something like that. I haven't put a ton of thought into it, but that's the general idea.
So yeah, that sounds fun. I don't know much about it, but I know a little bit about Fear Agent. I haven't read any hack and slash. Yeah, but I've heard you talk about it a lot.
Mm-hmm. I've got like the first volume. I never went all the way through it, but if you'd like to borrow it, I'd be happy to let you read it.
No, I don't want that crap.
Fine.
All right.
All right. Now you, Tucker. Crossover number 1
of 5.
What are your thoughts?
I'll start with this one. So,
I hate it already.
Part
Terrible. This is the dumbest thing ever.
Is Marcus. I'm crossing Marcus over with a cemetery. Stab. So,
I thought you were going to say a cougar.
So, Batman, we're in Gotham City. Open your mind's eye. We're in Gotham City.
Everybody close your eyes and just listen to his voice.
In Gotham, and Batman he's always monitoring things, so he's been monitoring this trend of like gruesome murders that have like moving across the United States, and they only happen like once every couple of months on a certain day. Do you know what day that is?
Halloween?
Friday the 13th. So he's like, what's causing all these murders? And he's noticing that the line is gonna go across Gotham on Friday the 13th. So he's like, I gotta figure out who's doing this. So Jason is coming to Gotham and he's killing people and he's trying to figure out who's doing it. So it's like a slasher movie with like he's killing people. He's like it would be like Batman shows up at the scene and everyone's dead and he's like, as he's investigating it, it's like showing. Like he's like detectiving what happened. It's like showing in his head how Jason's killing all these people. So you have like the slasher portion is like in Batman's head, and he's like showing you how he killed them, and he's hunting him down. And then like maybe for like the last one, it's like it shows that, and then Jason he didn't leave that place, and it's like he's standing behind Batman, and he's like, oh,
that's awesome.
Then they fight, I guess.
He like sees Jason's breath over his shoulder.
Yeah, it's like that scene from Halloween where it's like she's freaked out, and then it's like they slowly like her eyes are adjusting to the dark, and it's like a light turns on behind her slowly, and then it's like he's right behind her. Dun 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 dun. Yep. Dun, 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 dun. And then Jason kills Batman. And then it takes off the mask, and it was the Joker.
The plot thickens.
And then Jason takes off his mask, and he's Bruce Wayne!
Bruce Wayne's first killing, and he's an old man.
Yep.
And then Bruce Wayne takes off his face, and he's old man Logan.
Snick it.
I like it. Number 1 sounds cool. I like it. Make it so.
I had one that's just Dragon Ball Z and Harry Potter, but we talked about that a lot last week. My pitch said Voldemort was defeated at the end, but he wasn't killed. He was sent to another universe. Mm-hmm. Like, at the end, there's that big, like, magic blast at each other. Mm-hmm. So I was like, the force of that, like, sent him to another dimension. And, he, like, lands in Emperor Pilaf's castle, and he's, like, boasting about the Dragon Balls. And he's like, what are the Dragon Balls? And he's like, you can make a wish. And he's like, well, I'm going to wish to be immortal because I'm Voldemort and that's all I want.
Why is it all the bad guys? They always want to be immortal.
I don't know.
Make me immortal. I guess it's a great thing to wish for, but sorry, continue. So
he's like, I'm going to take over and get the Dragon Balls. And then at that moment, Future Trunks comes back again. And he's like, there's this guy Voldemort and he takes over the world and we got to stop him. And he's all like, oh no. But this is like a different Trunks. It's like the android's trunks was a different one.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a trunk from a different future that's like, he knows magic and stuff, and he's really cool.
That's just an alternate Dragon Ball Z universe, kind of?
Yeah. That's how time travel works in Dragon Ball Z is you can't change the past. Or you can't change the future by going to the past. You just make a new timeline.
Oh, okay.
That's what happened to Future Trunks, is he came back and he changed their timeline, but he went back to his and everything was the same. And he's like, crap. So he came back again and he trained and he got stronger, and then he got strong enough to beat the androids. But this Trunks doesn't know that because he's dumb. Or he wants to warn them to prevent it from happening.
And
he comes back in time, and he's really cool, and he knows magic, and he can go Super Saiyan 3, which is what I want. I want a Super Saiyan 3 Future Trunks. And so he's cool. Like, we got to stop him, but then an army of Death Eaters from Harry Potter, he's like, his army from the future comes back to help him. Because in their timeline, they beat him.
That's true.
And they're like, Ray! And there's this big magic fight, and Trunks is like doing spells and stuff, and it's crazy.
Interesting.
Turn that guy off.
No, we're segueing out. Sorry, continue.
Let's get into the good ones. I'm going to skip that one because it's kind of dumb.
All these squares make a circle.
Okay. Okay. So this takes place after all the most recent of these two franchises. Okay. So, Paul Walker's character in Fast and the Furious. Mm-hmm. Paul Walker's dead. So he dies in the movies because of a fight between Transformers. In a big Transformer battle, he dies, and now Vin Diesel and all of his friends are real sad, and they don't want to drive cars anymore because they might be robots in disguise. So, they're like... So The Rock shows up. He's like this government guy who hunts down bad guys, but he's been tasked to switch to the Transformers hunting squad. Mm-hmm. He's like, yo, I'm The Rock. Vin Diesel. We found the guy who killed Paul Walker's character. And his name is Optimus Prime. And you're like, what? Dun, dun, dun. So I was like, yo, we gotta kill these Transformers with our cars. Because that's like the big thing about the Fast and the Furious franchises. They always gotta kill something with their cars. Cause they're basically superheroes who are, their only power is they're really good at driving cars. Right. Because that's basically, because then in one of the movies, The Rock basically says, don't let them get into cars. And that's like, yeah, they're basically just superheroes who are good at driving, so... They get, like, super cool Transformer hunting cars. Because in one of the movies, they kill a tank with cars. And then in another movie, they kill a helicopter with cars. And it's like, well, where do you go from there?
It's true. Transformers.
You gotta kill a Transformer with your car.
That's the natural progression.
So, they get really cool Transformer hunting cars. And there's the cool, like, scenes of them, like, hunting down Transformers and, like, running into them with their cars. And... And then they eventually find Optimus, and they get in a big fight with all the Autobots. And then it's Vin Diesel versus Optimus Prime, and he eventually like knocks Optimus down with his car, and he's like gets out, and he's got a cool like Transformer killing gun, I guess. I don't know. And he's sort of like, should I do this? And he's like, because there's like glimpses of him being a nice guy, and he's like, well, should I kill him? And then The Rock is like, you gotta kill him, Vin Diesel. And then it's like, if you can't do it, I'll do it. And he pulls out his hand, turns into a gun, and the Rock is a Transformer in disguise the whole time. And Optimus Prime is like, no, and he turns his hand into a gun and he blows up the Rock and he kills him.
Nice.
And so it's like, yo, I didn't kill Paul Walker, it was Megatron, we gotta team up. And Optimus Prime changes it from the standard semi-truck into his 1970 Dodge Charger, which is like his car throughout all the Fast and Furious movies.
Nice.
And he's like, let's drive.
Vin Diesel's inside me.
Then they kill Megatron with their car.
I feel like that'd be a good way for me to actually watch a Fast and Furious movie.
I mean, I like the Fast and the Furious movies just because they're ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it's the one where Vin Diesel goes to jail, and to break him out, they crash the bus. He's in a transition to jail, and they crash the bus. The bus goes sideways, rolls about 20 times, and then Vin Diesel just gets out. He's fine.
Yeah. Didn't they do that in, was it U.S. Marshals? Or was it The Fugitive? I think it was The Fugitive with Tommy Lee Jones and...
Not sure.
I was going to say Hank Hill, but it's actually Harrison Ford.
See, I really like the Fast and the Furious
Dang it, Luke!
Because they're so ridiculous.
Yeah.
As I said, they're superheroes, and their only power is they're good at driving, and they kill things with their cars.
Yeah.
They have a final boss, and it's usually another vehicle.
Thinking of it that way, it makes a little bit more sense. Yeah.
So, yeah. But then Tokyo Drift is kind of like garbage, but...
Mix Tokyo Drift and Snakes on a Plane. Snakes on a Tokyo Drift.
Snake on a Tokyo Drift. Yeah, but...
That was the
Tokyo
numbers.
Drift isn't anyone from the other movies. It's like some random kid from Texas, and he gets shipped to Japan because he's in trouble. His dad lives in Japan. He's like an army guy. There's no one from the movies. And then...
Well, dadgum, it's time for me to drive.
But then people from that one show up in other ones. So it's like, there's like this guy named Hito or something. He's like his friend. And then it shows that he shows up in the other one, but he dies in the third one. So like, Tokyo Drift actually takes place after all the other... It's like this weird timeline. So it goes 1, 2, and then Tokyo Drift actually takes place after the 6th one, because that guy is still alive throughout all of them. So that takes place before it, and then Jason Statham is the guy who kills the guy in Tokyo Drift. And then he's the bad guy in one of them. Like, yo, we gotta kill Jason Statham with our cars.
With our cars.
Okay, I think this will be my last one. I don't want to do I have a Breaking Bad Ninja Turtles one, but...
Yes! You have to tell us that one.
It's not a very good one.
I don't care. I want to hear it.
Okay.
You have to.
So the Turtles are investigating this new type of drug called Emerald Dawn. It's a new strand of meth, and it's mixed with ooze.
Mm-hmm.
So when you smoke it, you get like super high and you like mutate.
Is it like a permanent mutation, or just mutate
no.
while you're high?
Just while you're high. They come to find out that it's being run by a new crime boss, Cyborg Gus Fring. You know who that is? And he like got half his face blown off in Breaking Bad.
Oh, okay.
And so Baxter Stockman brings him back to life. You know who Baxter Stockman is?
Yeah.
He's the guy from Ninja Turtles.
He's the Fly Guy.
Yeah, and he's like, this is pre-Fly Guy. So he's like, they're friends for whatever plot reason. Mm-hmm. So he's like, yo, Gus Fring, I found that that blue meth you were selling is so pure that it's a good catalyst for my mutation serum or whatever. So he's like, I need you to make me some. He's like, I don't know how to do it. this guy Walter White knows how to make it, but Walter White died at the end of Breaking Bad, so he's like, we got to Frankenstein Walter White back to life. So they bring Walter White back to life, and he is so he's like a zombie type guy, and he's like making evil meth. The turtles are like investigating it, and I had at the end, it's like Michelangelo and April get addicted to meth.
It's awesome. Party on, whoa!
Maybe they bang, I don't know.
Turtle banging.
That's all I had.
Shredder, get me my new body.
I didn't know you could do a Krang impression.
My new body. My new body.
Krang in the studio.
I like that idea. That's fantastic. I want to see that.
Okay, this is my big one that might have said it before on here because I say it all the time because it's my favorite thing. But
his dangle.
The following takes place between the events of Rocky V and Rocky Balboa.
Okay.
Okay, the year is 1995. Rocky's still poor. If you don't know, have you seen all the Rockies?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so in Rocky V, he makes like a bad investment or something. He's out of money and he can't box anymore because he has like scar tissue on his brain, and if he gets hit too much anymore, he'll die or something. Mm-hmm. So he's done boxing.
After he beats Tommy the Machine Gun.
That he gets the big fight at the end is just a street fight between him and some guy. It's not even a boxing match. Yeah. Anyway. So.
Number 5 is not that great of a movie. Right. Just throwing it out there for anybody that hasn't seen it. But
so they're still in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
They're doing their thing. So cut to a warehouse where Polly's robot from Rocky 4, Seiko is his name, sits silently. A green glow emanates from his chest, and suddenly his eyes, well, I see they open, but they're just lights, so they just turn on. And he's like, Polly.
Happy birthday, Polly.
So he starts to like roll away out of the warehouse, and there are guys trying to stop him. He's all like, "No, Polly!" So he's malfunctioning,
like Johnny Five.
Yeah. So he's just like rolling down the road all the way to Philadelphia from wherever he lived, wherever that warehouse was. It's like, meanwhile, Polly and Adrian are like in an argument over something, and when Seiko finally shows up, and he like tries to defend Polly, and so Seiko attacks Adrian and like opens his chest, and he's the green glow he's like nuclear powered. He like bombards Adrian with like radioactive materials, and she like, no! And Polly's like, yo, knock it off, and he like pushes him over, and he like hits his head on like the stoop. He's all like malfunctioning, and that's when, sorry, I'm getting away from the mic. Seiko sees inside the doorway, he sees that, what's their son's name? Is it just Junior, or, you guys, I don't know. Bobby,
I don't remember, I've totally forgotten.
I don't know. So he sees the kid's home computer with the AOL symbol on it, and he's just like, so he wirelessly downloads his consciousness onto the internet. And he's so mad at Polly for rejecting him that he's going to do a full nuclear strike on Philadelphia. and Rocky shows up, and he's like, yo, what's going on? And he's like, the robot showed up, and Adrian just got radioactive, and she's dying, basically. And he's like, yo, who did this? This stupid robot or something? So he's like, and then the news comes on, and it's like, there's a doomsday clock that says that if you don't produce, like, Polly to him by a certain time, he's going to launch, the world's total nuclear warhead at America and kill us all. And so he's like, what are we going to do? It's like, no one knows. And then Rocky gets a phone call from his friend, Kevin Flynn, the guy from Tron. He's all like, yo, Rocky, I know a way to find the robot I got this laser. All right? You and me, we're going to go on the internet. We're going to find Zico's program, and we're going to delete it. And we're like, oh, I don't know a lot about this computer stuff. And it's like, it's okay. I just need you to help us sort of like point him out, because we don't know what he looks like. Like, all right, let's do it. They go into the internet, and him, Rocky, Kevin Flynn, and Tron is there too. They're all go surfing through the internet. We can like explore like stuff that was popular in the 1995. It's on the internet. So they eventually find Zico, and he's like, "Yo, I'm Zico." No, that's not Zico. He's like, "I'm Zico." It's like, "I will defeat you. The internet is my realm of power." He's like, "Yo, I got this," and he throws it, and it's a boxing program, and they trap Zico and Rocky in the boxing program. It's like the only way to get out of the boxing program is you gotta beat Rocky in a boxing match, and like the loser gets deleted, and he's like, "Yo, I don't want to get deleted."
You gotta fight, Rock. You gotta fight. Yeah, you gotta win.
Like, they download the what's that guy's name?
Mickey,
the Mickey program, and he's there cheering on Rocky.
Come on, you bum!
And then Zico transforms into like a Rock'em Sock'em robot, basically. So they get in a boxing match.
He could like really start screwing with Rocky's head and like change into like Drago, and then Clubber Lang, and
each round it's like each bad guy from each movie.
Yeah, and then to really throw him, he turns into like Apollo Creed towards the end, like shoots emotions into him, like, "Yeah, I'm here, you know, we're best friends, but I hate your guts now." He's like, "No, man, Apollo, we were friends," type thing. And I like this story.
So then we could be like, was he starting to lose, and then we can get into like some Matrixy territory, and he's like, "You think that's air you're breathing?" He's like, so he's like starts like boxing faster than he humanly can, and like hitting him super hard and stuff. He does like a Falcon punch at the end, and like deletes him.
Stallion punch.
Yeah, it's shaped like a horse.
Maybe this is what the actual Creed movie that's coming out is
and then it's like a tiger is what he is. He like, it's like, and it's like roars. He's
just like, his eyes. He kind of turns into like the Michael Jackson Thriller.
I was going to have that Adrian got killed by the robot, but in Balboa it says that she died of cancer, so it's like the radiation from the robot gave her cancer.
There you go.
But that was my big one.
That's amazing. You just made my day with that.
All right, we're almost out of time.
Yeah, we are. Have you ever wondered when you see superheroes? It's like they're all in their suits and everything like that, but you never see them sick. It's like, what? I want to see a Batman. What if he had the runs? It's like, does he have time to get out of that suit, or does he just poop himself because he can't get out of it?
Marcus. All superheroes wear diapers. Don't you read the books?
Well, I'm just saying, what if
all wear diapers?
What if
Why do you think there's so many Depends ads in comics?
What if we were in a universe where diapers didn't exist?
They wouldn't wear costumes. They just wear normal pants.
This is insane. No, I feel like it wouldn't work that way. But can you imagine
I feel like most superhero costumes don't work like regular spandex. They just have a top and a bottom, and they can just pull their pants down. Like movie ones, they are like unitards. Mm-hmm. And they're always talking about like they're really hard to get off.
Yeah.
Like comic book costumes are just like normal clothes.
I was thinking like Iron Man, but he's probably got like a self-recycling system in there or something. To where
he probably has a butt flap.
Yeah.
Oh, pressurized release.
Uses it on bad guys. And the Hulk, he's already got torn purple pants, so he's just going to crap down his leg.
Hulk doesn't care, he just poops his pants.
Yeah. Flash moves so fast that it just disintegrates once it leaves his body.
Mm-hmm. The Speed Force just burns up all of his waste.
I run for days.
Propelled by farts. All right. Marcus, do you have a recommendation this week?
Recommendation. Hack slash. Or no. Let's go with Fear Agent first. Fear Agent's one of my most favorite books that I've ever read. I would highly recommend it. I think there's 6 trades of it, I think. Mm-hmm. Very, very worth reading.
Yep.
How about you, Tuck? What's your recommendations?
All the books I'm selling, so come and buy them.
Excellent.
Let me actually think. So I keep forgetting that I do this. It's usually like right now, I'm like, oh crap, what should I say? Just read Ultimates. It's I think it was the first book from the Ultimate Universe from Marvel, and it's just like an alternate take on the Avengers. And it's really good. Well, there's Ultimates, and there's Ultimates 2, and then it sort of starts to go downhill.
Was Ultimate Power, was that one of the first
Ultimate
of the Ultimates?
Power was a crossover between the Ultimates and Squadron Supreme.
Gotcha, okay.
Which is good. It's fun.
Mm-hmm. The artwork's pretty cool.
It's basically like Marvel versus DC. So, because Squadron Supreme was Marvel's like, they like a parody of the Justice League, and they're all evil.
Okay.
So yeah, I think that's it. So just like us on YouTube and subscribe to iTunes, because there's only 2 people downloading from iTunes, and I'm paying money to put it on there.
Yeah.
So I downloaded from iTunes because I'm paying for it.
Download.
Most people watch it on YouTube, which is fine, but like, don't do that.
You can go on iTunes and you can take it with you, like on your iPod,
you can put it in your iPod,
car, or
you can listen to it while you drive. You can say, "Hey, listen to this, friends."
Mm-hmm.
Give us ratings and reviews, and we might get on news that new and noteworthy, and then we might get more people listening.
Yep.
Probably not, because this show is trash.
But it's fun trash.
Yeah.
Give us ideas. If you have great ideas like that, then
if there's something you want to talk about.
If you want more information, Tucker knows everything about everything.
Yeah.
So.
If you want a recommendation, he's like, I like this. And we can talk about it. Maybe we can do a Q&A episode. Mm-hmm. Probably not, though.
We'll wait till episode 30 for that one.
So, iTunes, YouTube.
iTunes and YouTube.
We have a WordPress, but I don't put anything on it. It's just sort of like a website. Message me about comics.
Yep.
Read comics. Have a good time. Have a good week. Anything else to add, Marcus? I don't think I'm forgetting.
These are your assignments for the week. Complete them.
Buy all my books.
Buy all Tucker's books.
All right. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Have a comic-y week.